You're now tapped into Mr. Keeyzo's Corner. We got another special guest all the way from across the seas in Poland. We're going to call him Poland Spring today because he got the Poland and he got the water on. Everything is clean. Spring. You know what I'm saying? We got my man Malik Montana in the building. Welcome, welcome. How you doing, man? You good?
Welcome, New York City. We in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All the way from Poland. Yo, let me ask you, because, we was talking off camera, and we were getting into how Fubu's known all over the world and all that stuff. But I noticed that with our brand, we noticed that there's a hip-hop community everywhere, right?
For sure.
So how's the rap scene in Poland, and how you got started doing your thing out there?
Well, it's basically like the OGs from out here that we got, hip to. Basically, like, I had an older brother who basically, I was back young then. So let's say the first like track that really made me go like, wow, was probably like CNN War Report as a kid. That was my shit back then.
Okay.
I was like, New York, get the bloody money. Dirty cats.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that track till today. So it's basically like, the OGs. Like, I think it depends on the age of yours, but it's basically everybody had their OGs back then, and it was probably the ones from the States.
Yeah, it's crazy because I travel overseas a lot.
Yeah.
So if I'm overseas, like if I'm going to a club or some shit, I'll see or I'll hear artists from out here that they don't even mess with. Like you can't even get no radio play in the States.
Yeah.
But out there, you're so heavy. Like everybody loves you. Everybody singing the same. Every word that's coming out of your mouth, they know every word. And a lot of artists go from the States overseas to kind of further their career.
Right.
Why is it so? Why is it like that overseas? Like, why do you guys tend to like hold on to the history of it? You know what I'm saying? Like where we discard it so quickly.
Right. But at the same time, I feel it's been like that, as you just said, for all these past years. But I would say like the last 3-4 years, like the European market got so big, and the sound and the variety of sounds, you know what I mean? Like it's just different. I feel like what you just said was right, but far as the fashion nowadays, I think like American artists should look up to Europeans too, because we've been doing it for years, like we show love, we do whatever, but it's also a lot of things I feel like, like American artists that been traveling to Europe probably seen it too. Like we got some fly cats out there too, It's like,
no doubt. But you got to be out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Because what they show us over here, we don't get a chance to see that.
But you see, it's also like, me as a person, it's evolving me coming here, seeing things from a different perspective, getting to know different, individuals and shit like that. So it's probably going to be the same thing for cats from out here, pull up there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then, now it's a different time. Technology is different. Everything is videos. You can see, you can capture it more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not so much back in the days where we would be sitting there and oblivious to what's going on over here. Now, you got it in your hand. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a little different. But you work with artists from the States. I know you work with Lil Tjay.
Yeah.
You know what
the
I'm
song
saying?
just dropped last week, Friday.
Okay.
It just came out, so shout out everybody. Just listen to that shit on Spotify, stream it, go on TikTok, do your creations,
Yeah, and then Rowdy Rebel.
Right. That's
So
the
how
big
do you choose the artists that you work with from the States? Like, how do you bond? Like, how do you build that relationship with them?
I just had like my big dog Edgar from New York. He would pull up to Poland, and from that on, like I just met people, got to know JL Shot that, and through him other people. It's like it's like the domino kind of effect. You get to know people through people. So that's how I would like describe this journey out here.
Okay. What's your thoughts on? I know a lot of artists have thoughts on streaming, right?
Right.
Some say they don't get paid enough. they get pennies from that if they're not, getting millions and millions of streams.
What's the what's the rate on Spotify in the States right now for 1 million? What you get?
I don't know. I think a stream is like 0.00008.
No, but for 1 million, how much would you get?
I don't know. Like,
Yo, Google that real quick, because we gonna go further. But let's. I'm just
Yeah.
wondering, because
'Cause-
I think it's like from our perspective, it also depends on the country, yeah. But like, let's say we get like 3, 4 bands for $1 million, probably some shit like that. I mean,
Okay.
from Poland it's way less, but I'm just saying, like, in general, comparing the European thing all
Okay,
around. So it's probably like between like a band till 3. You got countries like, the Scandinavian countries like Sweden, Norway, they pay you like, I don't know, let's say, I don't want to, throw some numbers that, not sure, but let's say it's like 6, 7 bands per million, because the countries
so
are
it's
smaller,
different,
right?
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like really harder for you to even get out and reach bigger numbers like that.
yeah. Nah, I feel you.
It's
Yeah,
also the language, you know what I'm saying? Like for y'all artists from America and from England as well, it's way easier, especially like, also the Spanish ones. The language is so big and it's just plenty people speaking it. So it's obviously that the music has, a bigger reach.
Okay. So what you been doing while you been out here in New York? I know you've been running
Been
around
outside,
the city.
you
Been outside?
been outside,
You been to the clubs or you just been working?
Yeah,
You
we've
just
been some titty
Oh, you
bars
been outside,
out
side.
here.
Okay. Okay. Speaking about, Poland and the music scene out there, describe it for us. Like, tell us, when you started, like
Right.
how did you actually get into it? And I know you was talking about listening to different artists, but how did you actually get into it?
Well,
And what made you thrive?
Basically, like, the music's been a part of the life, like, for a long time, but you never really like decided on doing it that serious. So basically, I just dropped a hook on one of my friends, joints, and that hook overnight went viral, basically, And from there on, I started pushing, keep pushing. So it was basically, starting from scratch, from a room at my friend's house and $100 microphone,
Right.
to, coming up to New York and working with big cats from out here. So it was basically a route, It's like I could tell you stories about that whole thing, but it's like me, I was like with my guys out there, we were pioneers to a new style back then when I started like 7 years ago, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it was all that, backpack, true school hip hop out there. So we gave a little bit swag to the game out there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, because in Poland, I'm also looked at as a foreign person, because I'm not 100% Polish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, it's kind of funny because out there, I'm looked at, I'm a foreign person, kind of, even though I do the music and, my mom's from Poland.
Right.
But let's say I was the first artist to break that, kind of, you know what I mean? Back before me, it was all just only Polish rappers with that hip-hop style. So once we pulled up, we just kind of, gave it that Western swag to it.
And you would describe your music as what?
As the expression of myself.
No,
you know?
like I'm saying, like drill music. You got drill music. You got
I do different genres, as far as music, like, I don't want to close myself into one box, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, it's like, at the same time, I'll be moody in the day and I'll be doing some, song with beats you would never expect me to hop on, you know what I'm saying? So it's just basically the moment that I try to catch, and, when I'm with producers that be doing different sounds, I still enjoy it. I still try to learn from that, and just jump on it and on my shit.
Okay. Who's some of the artists that we should know from your side?
From Europe?
Yeah.
There's like, I think Central C made it. I mean, it's England, it's not like really Europe. It is Europe, but you should check out for sure, like, rappers like Morad. He's from Spain. He's fire for sure. The London scene is pretty known out here, so I don't think I have to,
Yeah. No.
come up with the names from out there. But the French scene is pretty dope too. You got a lot of artists.
What I loved about overseas the most was going into the club, listening to the music, and vibing off of music.
When was the last time you've been overseas?
November. I was in France in November.
France.
Yeah.
Your France lit.
Yeah. So
Parties.
I've traveled many places, but as far as us being in the scene in the clubs and listening to music, and sometimes you just vibing off of music that you don't necessarily understand, but you feel it.
You're
you know
right.
what I'm saying? Like, you in the club and you just your head.
But how is it for you? Like, you like, obviously you pull up to Europe, you want to get to know that culture too, yeah?
Yeah,
So
I mean,
how was your first impression of that? And actually, did it affect somehow on your, looking at certain things,
I think
the perception,
I remember one night I was in I went out to France with my wife years ago, like early 2000s, and literally I was going from club to club to club with one of my people out there. He's I don't want to say a party promoter because he's just like
Right.
a socialite.
Moving slick through all the lines.
He know all the ladies. He know
Right.
everywhere to get into. He got you.
That's the people you
know
need
what I'm
to
saying?
plug
My
in.
man Dave. Shout out to my man David out there. But he would take us from club to club. Like, yo, you need to go to this club. You need to go to that club. And I remember one night just going from club to club, and it was like a group of maybe I want to say 15 kids.
Right.
And every club we went to, they were at that club. It was like they knew where the next spot was. And every time we walked in, it was Fubu, just yelling Fubu. And I'm like, damn, these kids is everywhere. But just the vibe, like I went to the titty bar out there. You know what I'm saying? It was different.
It's different, right?
Yeah, it's different.
Like out here, it's wild.
Yeah,
like, you go to the titty bar,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's
All
way
the way.
different. You know what I
It's
mean?
different.
You know, you go to the South, it's like it's crazy. You know what I mean? So, but it was cool. I had a good time. I always have a good time when I go out there. And then it's like here, well, I could say back then, but here, when you go to clubs now, everybody's on their phones. They're like,
Yeah.
you know, out there, they just having a good
How
time.
you feel about the style? Like,
the style?
Yeah, the fashion.
The style is cool. I mean, from the people that I've been around, like just some sharp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like even yourself. You know, you got the the wares.
I was
you got
just
the look.
wondering, you know what I mean?
I peep the videos. I'm seeing how your style is in the videos. I'm like, if you wasn't talking another language,
Yeah.
I would think you from here. You know what I'm saying? Because just the swag that you got. But nah, it's
But you see,
dope.
like, that's the swag you're talking about. That's like the language, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That comes with the whole culture and everything with it. So
Yeah.
you don't really got to, sometimes say, because people see, what's on, what time it is with certain things, and it's coming from the culture.
Yeah, nah, it's dope. Like,
I fucks with, like, when I come to New York, always, I getting myself, like, a pair of Timbs. This is the New York town, huh?
yeah, nah, you got, like, I go everywhere. I remember going to Cancun one year, and I had some army shorts on and some Timbs.
Yeah.
And it's
People understand it out there,
It's
right?
in the middle of it's like 95 degrees outside, and girls is like, yo, why you got on Timbs? I'm like, yo, I wear Timbs all year round. Like, what do you mean? Like, this is how we do it. She's like, you must be from New York. Yeah, you got me. You know what I'm saying?
You seen the Louis Timbs, right?
Yeah. I seen.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah. Now I'm just like, I don't even get the colors and nothing. I'm straight cream. I'm straight wheat. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So gumshoe bottom. That's
Yeah.
it. You know, not the other ones. The gumshoe.
What
all
about
right?
the 40s? The 40 below?
The 40 belows is
I
just
just
I
copped
can't
them.
find. I had
You gotta go Soho right now. I'm telling you.
Right now?
Yeah, I got them like 2-3 days ago.
Okay. I'm gonna pull up. I might go there after this. Cause no, I was I had a
Finding those for the retail price, like it's hard.
I had those before, and I lost them. I don't know how I lost them. I had so many boxes of shoes back in the days that somehow I don't know somebody stole them or whatever, but I didn't have them no more. And then when they came out, I think they came out like 6 months ago. I was trying to get them and I missed it. You know what I'm saying? So I might have to pull up on Soho. I need those. Those are like my favorite joints.
Yeah.
The 40 belows. Yeah, those are my favorite joints. Those and the wheat joints. You know what I mean? But what I was reading about your network.
Yeah.
I think that's like a genius idea what you created. You know what I mean? As far as creating a network to interact with your fans. Tell us some more about that.
I mean, it's basically like whatever I do, like people might see that as a, marketing strategy type of thing. But when I'm in the mood, I just pull up on my social media and talk to people like that. You know what I mean? I feel like it's the people that stand behind me, through good, bad times. So those are the ones that deserve to have me around from time to time, have that interaction, like being really good with my fans like that. So it's like a big army behind that, like saying whenever I release a song, people just go hard, pushing it all over TikTok and everywhere and supporting the whole thing. So that's what I think is the key, you know what I mean? Like you can't just force yourself to to talk to people. Like if it's the right time, you know what I mean? The energy is right too. Just pull up and talk to your people.
Yeah, but when you know when you genuine and people see the real you, and they know, because I get that all the time. They be like, "Yo, you humble, but you's a real cat." You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I don't try to portray nothing I'm not.
But that's what you learn with
You know what I'm
time,
saying?
you know? Like
Yeah.
starting off in the game like 6, 7 years ago, you probably meet me 3, 4 years back. I'll be a different individual, you know?
Oh, yeah, I was
It's the road that turns you into the perfection, you know?
I was definitely a different individual prior to growing up. You know what I mean? Because I was a wild boy back in the days, and you look at it now, you're not living that same life. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you've matured.
Yeah.
You know?
You get to see the thing from a different perception, basically, you know?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I remember looking at myself, looking at some of the things and choices I made back in the days, and kind of just replaying them in my head, and I'm like, I could have did that better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or I could have addressed that in a different way.
But that's a good sign, you know what I mean? Because you still try to, go up and
you
evolve yourself.
always got to evolve, man.
Not all the people got that, you know. Some people get comfortable in the situation they're at.
Yep.
And they stop pushing, striving for more because they feel like, oh, that's the limit I already reached.
Yeah, because it's a lot of times some people chase the money and not the success.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, chasing the money, you're going to get the money's going to come.
It's the outcome
You know
of the work and the
but
whole
it's
path.
all the work that you put
Right.
in that you want to look back on and see, this is my body of work. This is the moves I
Exactly.
made. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? These are the points where I pivoted when I thought I was going here and I needed to go here. But, that's mature. When you mature, you find those things out. But, man, listen, man, I appreciate you pulling up on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
know
I
you
had a good
running.
time here for sure.
And, we're going to definitely tap into you a little bit more and see what you got going on.
Yeah, we need that football more in Poland, man. Got to tell
Yeah,
your
yeah, we
peoples,
working on it. We working on
Start
it.
doing some campaigns out there. Pull up there.
We figure something out. I know we working on a new manufacturer right now.
I had a pair of football jeans back then too.
Yeah?
I swear.
Nah, listen, man. We've been blessed, man. Like, it's funny that you say that because we were talking earlier about the football being, worldwide. And I want to say about 2000, 2001,
Yeah.
we only thought we had like 3 years in the business. We was like, yo, we got 3 years. We got to get as much money as we can.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Then we're going to start something else. And then after those 3 years, we were like, oh, do we got 4 years? You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
then we were like, okay, we might have a little bit more time. Let's try to figure out different angles. And our angles were to develop freestanding stores overseas.
Yeah.
So we wound up doing 200 stores overseas worldwide. So places like Saudi Arabia,
Right.
Turkey, France, Germany.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Japan.
But look at the brand like Sean John.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's been somehow around. Like, it wasn't really the shit back then, like a few years ago. But now, as I see, I feel like the early 2000s coming back in with the style. Like, you even see the clothings, right? Like,
Yeah, everything.
like it's a
coming
new,
back. Like I
design
see-
to
I
it.
see-
But
I-
you see those joints from back then already.
Yeah, I
like,
see the
kinda-
Averex joints.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was
Yeah.
like, I'm looking at the video. I'm like, yo, Munch, Averex making a comeback, huh? They got, but I've been seeing.
But you know
it a
what's
lot.
funny, actually, because I was at the Pelly office the other day, too, and I spoke to them guys, and I was like, yo, how come, like, Pelly, watching all those videos from back in there, like, you seen Pelly around, and it was something you couldn't get in Europe, actually. And I was wondering, telling them, why you never pull up to Europe? Like, you got Averex out there, like, that's basically around, but why we don't see no Pelly?
Yeah, sometimes with the clothing business, it's a little hard because
It's the distribution. It's probably...
it's the distribution, it's the want and the need for it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, people might know about it, like you and people who are more hip to it. So you guys might have it, but the world might not be on it like that. So for them to get over there, you know what I'm saying? It's like they need to sell millions of pieces instead of hundreds of pieces. So sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes they don't have the relationships or the connections. And sometimes that's just not in their MO, But I appreciate you pulling up on me, man. Tell people what you got going on, what other things you got going on. I'm sure you got a few
Oh
things
yeah,
going on.
we got some
where they can
heat
find
coming.
you.
We just dropped the EP, Export Import. You know, we export and import the
Okay.
styles basically. We released that like a month ago. Now we just dropped the TJ song, Samolotov Trip, which is like, if you translate it into English, it's flight mode. You know,
Okay.
it's just a story about the wild life going on, meeting some chicks, just having fun.
Right.
You know, what's next? And now we into Ramadan mode. Like it starts in about more than a week. So you know, I just relax a little bit, start working on myself, my mind, my mental. Feel like I've been smoking way too much the last few months. So you know, it's a good time to stop all the bad habits,
Right.
get a reset, and after that month, I'm back in the business. You know, we had like a video shoot the other day with KR, 41 Gang pulled up. Shout out to them, big love, you know. And yeah, we just gonna, you know, bomb on her with projects and videos, basically.
All right. Well, tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, check me on my Instagram, Don Malik Montana. Check me on my Spotify, all the social medias, TikTok. Just stay tuned with my music, you know. You're gonna find something exotic in it, that Poland Spring, you heard?
All right. Listen, another episode, Keeyzo's Corner in the can. My man Malik Montana in the building. Poland Spring, all the way from the Springs in Poland. You dig? All right. Peace. We out.
Love, appreciate y'all.